Join me as I dive into the fascinating story of how Nefertiti took over ancient Egypt's throne and see if I can uncover the secrets behind her rise to power. In this video, you'll discover the remarkable story of Nefertiti and her unexpected rise to power in ancient Egypt, challenging traditional gender roles in a male-dominated society. Despite her prominence, Nefertiti's role has often been overshadowed by her husband, Akhenaten, leading to questions about her true influence and authority. It's a shame, really, because Nefertiti was more than just a pretty face or a faithful wife. She was a force to be reckoned with. In fact, many historians believe that Nefertiti was the real power behind the throne, even during Akhenaten's lifetime. But what makes us think that? What clues point to Nefertiti's incredible influence? One of the biggest hints is the way Nefertiti is depicted in art and monuments from that time period. Unlike other queens of ancient Egypt, Nefertiti is often shown wearing the same regalia as the pharaohs: the double crown, the crook and flail, even the cat headcloth. This was unheard of for a queen, and it suggests that Nefertiti was being treated as a co-ruler rather than just a loyal wife. And it's not just the imagery. Nefertiti's name is also used in ways that were typically reserved for pharaohs. She's referred to as my beloved, the Great One, and even the Living One, all titles that were usually reserved for the pharaoh himself. But what about Akhenaten? How does he fit into this picture of Nefertiti's rise to power? Well, it's clear that Akhenaten and Nefertiti had a very close relationship. Some historians even suggest that it was romantic rather than just platonic. And it's possible that Akhenaten was the one who gave Nefertiti her incredible influence in the first place. After all, he was the one who started the whole monotheistic revolution, worshipping Aten as the one true god, and Nefertiti was right there by his side the whole time. Explore her life, from her marriage to Akhenaten to the religious reforms they enacted together, and the implications of her being depicted as a powerful figure in art and monuments. Nefertiti's marriage to Akhenaten was likely a strategic one. Her father was a high-ranking advisor to the pharaoh, and Nefertiti herself was probably chosen for her beauty and her wit. But whatever the reason, it's clear that Nefertiti and Akhenaten were a formidable team. Together, they introduced the worship of Aten, built a new capital city at Amarna, and even started a whole new style of art. As we explore Nefertiti's life, we can see that she was more than just a pretty face. She was a true partner to Akhenaten and a powerful force in her own right. And that power only grew as Akhenaten's health began to decline. The couple's religious reforms had already made them unpopular with the priestly class, and Akhenaten's growing eccentricity wasn't helping matters. It's likely that Nefertiti was the one who kept the government running smoothly during this time, using her influence to keep the wheels turning. In the years that followed, Nefertiti's image only grew more powerful. She's shown smiting enemies, trampling her foes, and even wearing the pharaoh's regalia. And yet, despite all this evidence, we still don't know the full extent of Nefertiti's power. Was she a co-ruler, or even the outright pharaoh? The answer, unfortunately, is lost to history. But one thing is clear: Nefertiti was a woman ahead of her time, who challenged traditional gender roles and took her rightful place as a leader. Delve into the moment when Nefertiti may have stepped into a pharaoh's role, especially after Akhenaten's death, and the evidence suggesting she ruled as Pharaoh Neferuaten. So, what happened after Akhenaten's death? Did Nefertiti take the throne for herself, or was she pushed aside by more traditional forces? The answer, of course, is unclear, but there are a few clues that suggest Nefertiti may have ruled as pharaoh in her own right. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence is the existence of a female pharaoh known as Neferuaten, a name that's suspiciously close to Nefertiti's own. And it's not just the name. The archaeology suggests that Neferuaten was a real flesh and blood ruler, not just a myth or a legend. So, was Neferuaten actually Nefertiti ruling in her own right? It's certainly possible. And if true, it would make Nefertiti one of the first female pharaohs in Egyptian history. But even if Nefertiti didn't rule as pharaoh, it's clear that she had an enormous impact on ancient Egypt. She challenged traditional gender roles, pushed the boundaries of art and culture, and left a lasting legacy that would be felt for centuries to come. And yet, despite all this, we still know so little about her, a true enigma waiting to be uncovered.